We're back, John.
We're back.
We're back. So we're kind of just gonna get right into it since you're running around, you're busy. We're going on vacation this weekend. So
yes. Best way to get new business is to just plan a vacation or have somebody on the team go on vacation
to not
while
be
we're
here for the next
short staff, so that the phone is just going to go crazy the week before it.
Yeah, but we're always grateful for new business. So
yes.
We're excited that we have a lot of awesome new buyers and listings coming up. So, that's always a good thing. And, obviously doing this and talking about our real estate business and what we're doing is also a really positive thing.
And I really like the new microphone setup here. We're
official.
like professionals now.
We're official. So one of the first things that I wanted to talk about today, and we're not going to get too detailed into it because at some point we obviously want to give everybody the exact numbers, but let's talk about the current state of the market in our local real estate market. Denville, Rockaway, Morris County. What have you been seeing going on with activity and offers, and are these homes still going way over list price?
Yeah, so we've definitely seen the market. We had an uptick probably at the end of June, early July of definitely more inventory. And I think everybody has seen that. A lot of our current, just the hottest buyers that we have right now, they were excited that there's a lot more places to go and take a look at. Right. With these last 2 weeks, and we're currently talking, I don't know when this is going to get posted, at the end of July right now. Last 2 weeks, I do feel like the inventory has been a little bit on the lower side again. Right. That's pretty standard for this time of year. A lot of people are trying to list by the spring so that you have that 45, 60-day close to get people in there for the school year.
Yep.
Closed by the end of August. But really right now, we're definitely feeling the market slow down. When I say slow down, I'm not saying that the prices are slowing down, but it definitely is less showings on a lot of the listings right now.
Right.
It just feels like there's less buyers out there. And I really do feel like the buyers are finally starting to fight back a little bit compared to how it was during COVID.
And I've been noticing too, when our buyers are making offers on homes, you're not, and it depends, obviously. It depends on the home. It depends on the price range. But they're not going up to bat against like 10 other people like we were in the spring.
No, they're definitely not. And like I keep a gauge on it too, where a lot of times when a new buyer calls in, you have a sense just based on what their qualifications are, and how long a search is going to be. And I let everybody know up front how long I think the search is going to be. But of course, like the 20% down, the 25% down or more, the buyers that are willing and able to make up a difference on the appraisal.
Right, which has been a slam dunk. That really has been such a
or the bank being
thing.
Able to waive the appraisal for them. Those are the buyers that over the last several years get offers accepted quickly. But just this last month or so, we're seeing buyers with 3% down, 5% down, get offers accepted, which again, a year ago, that would have been unheard of.
It wasn't happening.
And even the FHAs, where a lot of times, of course, the difference is that the FHA appraiser may go out there and tell the seller that some fixes need to be made.
Right.
But right now we have 35 homes under contract, and 3 of the homes are being bought with FHA loans, which is...
Yeah, and it's interesting because out of those 3 homes, one, the appraiser did say a few things had to be done, which the buyer is fixing themselves, where typically that would be the seller's responsibility.
Yes. And so that's where it's still a seller's market, where the buyer agreed to do that, knowing that FHA is not preferred to conventional.
Exactly. But then, we have another one where there was nothing.
Yes. So, but we also knew that house is pristine condition.
It's a really nice
nothing
house.
Would get called out on that.
Yeah. So then just to go back, because we were talking about this past week, kind of just like, talking about the market, and you were saying like these buyers, the 3%, the FHA buyers, they're getting their offers accepted, which was a really, really hard thing to do 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. Do you feel like that is coming down to sellers still thinking their home is going to get this price and maybe not getting the 10 offers, which would typically drive that, that price to that number, where these buyers are having to be more competitive with their offer number since they can't be as competitive with the terms?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's the seller still wanting to get that price that maybe they're not seeing anymore, and these buyers know that they have to go higher than everybody else if they can't waive the appraisal or make up a difference of it to stand out.
Right.
And that seller is going with that one in the hopes. And a lot of times it ends up appraising anyways. But I also just think that the buyers right now are again fighting back. If they're not willing to take that $20,000 out of saving
Yeah.
and say, "Hey, seller, I'm willing to make up a difference on the appraisal here." And we see that even the inspection language is not nearly as, I'll call it, competitive as it was the
Yeah.
last
Or
several months,
aggressive. Yeah.
or aggressive, where they would say maybe, "Hey, I'll make up the first $10,000 or waive the
Yeah.
first ten thousand
Yep.
dollars of issues." They're just saying, "Hey,
They're
it's only
not
for
doing
major
it.
structural safety, environmental issues now."
Right,
So
right. And I think it's interesting because, so many buyers still are first time home buyers where they don't have, they're a lot of them are very qualified to buy a home, but they may not have after you put a down payment down, your closing costs, there that is a good chunk of change. And to waive appraisals or to throw $5,000 at the home inspection to get that offer accepted, a lot of these homes still need
yeah.
work. They
Oh
still
yeah.
need things
And
done.
more so right now than ever, I think we have buyers that are utilizing the New Jersey grant, where
Yeah.
in Morris County, where we're at, you get, if you qualify for it, you'll get $15,000 from the state at
Right.
closing.
Right.
That's just free
Yeah.
$15,000 if you stay in the house for at least 5 years. If you move within the first 5 years, you do have to pay them back, but then it's an
Mhm.
interest-free $15,000 loan.
Right.
Sussex and Warren County are $10,000 a piece. So we
Yeah.
have several buyers that may not have the money. They just have enough for the down payment. They don't have enough for closing costs,
Right.
but they can get this grant that will
Yeah, and
pay their
that's
closing
huge.
costs.
And that's huge because I think a lot of people don't take into account the closing costs when they're budgeting for a home.
No, a lot of times
They
buyers are
just
very surprised by
they
that.
don't know anything about it. And can you kind of talk about obviously that's all dependent on like what purchase price your home is and
It depends. Yeah, I mean, it depends on a lot. Like, it depends on if you want to get a survey or not, which we always recommend getting a survey, but they're expensive. They're
they're expensive.
usually
Yeah,
close to
yeah.
$1,000, so that's included in that. Attorney fees would be included in that. A lot of
Yeah.
people I'm seeing right now, though, have a program through their work that they get attorney fees for
Right.
free.
Right.
It also depends on when you actually purchase your home on the calendar day of the month. So
Mhm.
if you were to buy a house on the second day of a month, your closing costs are going to be higher than if you buy it on the 30th day of the month. And the
Mhm.
reason being is because, let's use August, for example, since we're about to go into August. If you close on August 2nd, you have to pay the sellers back for the taxes of the rest of
For that
August,
month. Yep.
the rest of it. Plus, you also have to pay your mortgage up front for the month of August, plus the entire September month of the mortgage.
Right.
And then you end up picking up your mortgage payments starting October 1st.
Yeah. And, a lot of, until you're really in that, discussion with your lender or your realtor, like people don't know that.
No, they don't.
Or people don't even know how much does an attorney cost or how much does title cost, a title
Yeah.
search.
Which is why it's important to have good lenders. And what we do every time we write up an offer is the subject property that's going to be written up on. We ask the lender, "Hey, run a scenario
Yeah.
of these three different prices. These are the taxes on it. They're
Yeah.
thinking about offering X, Y, and Z.
Right.
They're thinking about putting down 3%, 5%, 10%.
Yep.
Give us these scenarios, and then the buyer can pick which one they feel the most comfortable with going at."
Exactly. And I think you also just brought up taxes, which I think is also such an important thing to know when you're looking for a home because people just look at purchase price.
Mhm.
This house is worth 500,000. I can afford that. But if taxes are 20,000,
Yeah.
you may not afford that house,
Yeah.
So that's all combined.
It's all combined. It
Yeah.
can change. It can change a lot.
It does.
throughout the process.
Yeah. So there's lots of things to consider.
Yeah.
But okay, so then I know we talked about local trends. Do you have a good idea of what's going on nationally? Do you feel like it's kind of across the board, or you feel like our market?
It's really tough to tell. Nationally, I
Yeah.
don't follow nearly as much. I know that there's other areas shifting to more of a buyer's market, where we're
Yeah.
still in this seller's market
Right.
again, getting easier. I guess I'll go back to this North Jersey region again, that I truly think that we're finally in an area that we're just going to be steady for, it looks like, the next 6 months. I
Right.
don't see this ripping back up again in appreciation. I definitely don't see a fallout because there are still too many buyers out there. But again, I just think that the feeding frenzy may be over with.
Yeah.
There's one that we have an offer in right now in Mount Olive. It's a listed around 400. There's 8 offers on it. So that price range is still getting high.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that only one of the offers out of all 8 is waiving the appraisal.
Yeah.
So you're just getting, there's still a lot of buyers that will get the price, just the terms are not
The
what we've
terms
been
aren't
seeing.
there. Yeah.
In terms of interest rates, I feel like they're kind of stagnating too. I feel like they're staying in the same
Yeah.
region of 6.7, 6.8.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon, but
And I read something today actually that they voted not to change anything right now because they're still trying to figure out inflation and what's going on.
yeah.
So no
Yeah.
big changes there, which, everybody's kind of holding out for that, but it's not happening as quickly as a lot of people would have hoped it would.
No.
So we had just talked about, are we in a buyer's market, a seller's market? Still, we're kind of leveling out, like you just said, depends on the price range. To go just back to like the national market, I did read that the southern countries like Florida, Texas, those are such big buyer markets right now.
They overbuilt a lot during COVID,
Yeah.
but they have much more land than us.
And
So-
it's much more inventory. So we always say to our downsizers right now and our people that are retiring and thinking about going down south, now is the time.
Yeah.
Because you can still sell your house for a good price here, for good terms, all the good things, and then go to Florida or go to, wherever you're planning on going, and you can really get a house for a good price.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing too. So I mean, it is a great time to be selling your larger family home
Yeah,
up here.
yeah.
If it's time to retire and
Yep.
you want to move down south for
Yeah.
retirement, this is a great time to do it. You can still sell at a good price here,
Right.
and then go and buy in the buyer's market down there.
And I've noticed because the bigger homes were having, maybe a little bit of an issue there for a while because we did have a lot of family clients that were staying in their homes, trying to figure out a way to stay in their homes because they had the 2.8, 2.9, like these insane rates that they, refinanced during COVID. And they didn't want to move out of that house to go to a bigger house because why would, you're not going to leave that rate for a higher rate. But not everybody, but most people have come to the terms that we're not seeing that rate again. And you're not just going to live your life in a small house that doesn't
No.
work for you anymore. Like, just bite the bullet, get your dream home, whether it's a 6.7, whatever the rate is, because that always changes.
Yes.
It always changes.
Yeah.
And it's still way better than, like mom always says, like, and then when she bought her house, it was like a 15% interest rate.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty good, I would
Chelsea
say.
probably got it for $30,000 though. So
Yes, I know. It's
Yeah.
painful to think about, but
yeah. Back when they used to trade gold.
I mean,
barter.
Yeah. But I think about that constantly because there was a question that somebody had that is investing in real estate still smart in 2025 with the way prices have gone. Like
Yeah.
we've seen it over the last 5 years, like what people bought their home for 2019, 2020. And I bought my first home in those, and so did Gio,
Mm-hmm.
that how much those homes for us have appreciated over the last 5 years.
Oh yeah, no, I'll never sell it, and I think that that's what a lot of people call us about too. Is they are in that smaller house where they want to upsize, and now they have to make the decision: do I go and get this new house? I got a ton of equity in this. I could sell this, probably
Right.
have $200,000-$300,000 of equity in this
Yep.
house right now, and throw a huge down payment at a bigger house, which is
Yeah.
obviously going to be much more with a higher interest rate to lower those monthly payments. Or do I rent this out? And a lot of
Yeah.
times, if they have that 2.5 to 3% rate,
Right.
I mean,
And if it's a good manageable rental.
if it's a manageable
Yeah,
rental and
yeah.
they're fit for being landlords and can see themselves doing that, then I mean, a lot of them are
It's a
making
good option.
$1,000 a month.
I
So
know.
even right there,
I
you could
know.
throw that at your
And I still even
New
think about
mortgage.
like, obviously when you have a 2.9% rate and like where rental prices have gone to, these people are making, money on it. It's a good investment. But even if somebody bought an investment property today, even if you're not seeing money from it tomorrow, in 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, you are. So like to me, like it's still a good time to invest in real estate in 2025.
Yeah, if you can. I think a lot of people just have to realize that a lot of times the cash flow isn't going to be great right now.
No, not right off
but
the bat.
It's buying a stock like anything else. I don't
Yeah.
think that you're buying any stock expecting, I mean, some people are penny stocks if they get lucky
Yeah.
and trying to get rich overnight. But it's a long-term play because again,
Exactly.
historically real estate, if you buy a good solid piece of property. Still have to do your due diligence, but it'll go
Right.
up in
It'll go up in
appreciation
value
long
over
term.
time. Yeah. And I
So
definitely think maybe we'll start seeing some openings for that again
yeah,
soon, just some more
yeah.
options.
Then we just hope that you can refinance even into the fives at some point if they
Yeah,
come down.
yeah. It's and at
Doesn't need to be this year, doesn't need to be next year, but
no, at
at
some
some
point
point
they
during that
will.
30-year
Yeah.
loan, you should be able to.
Yeah, at some point they will. So we work with a lot of first time home buyers, as we said. What do you feel like are some really good first time home buyer tips for people that are not quite there yet financially? They're trying to get all their savings in order, have the down payment, get their credit right, get pre-approved, and then really start looking. What are some tips for those people getting ready and thinking
I
about it?
I mean, number one is definitely to ask your lender about the New Jersey state grant. And if
Yeah.
they can't answer that question, then it's definitely time to talk to
Find a new
one
lender.
of our
Yeah.
lenders that we prefer.
And just to add into that, because a lot of people don't have lenders,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know a lender. They don't know where to start. Some people think they need to go to their bank and like get hooked up with somebody there.
Yeah.
When you're thinking about purchasing a home, even though you're not there yet, it's still good to talk to a realtor and to talk to a lender because they'll tell you exactly what you need to do to be ready to purchase that home. Like
Yeah.
I have so many friends that got married, they're saving their money. They feel like they need to have a certain amount to put down, which they might to like really make their monthly payments affordable. But I feel like until you really talk with a lender, you don't know what those monthly payments could be. And you might be saving more than you have to or waiting longer than you have to.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it's just other things. Exactly, it's really talking to a realtor, and right now is a more important time than ever to talk to a good realtor, preferably us. But just because the barrier of entry into this industry is non-existent right
No.
now, there's people that are getting their licenses
Oh my
online,
gosh.
never going in person. I've heard of some people being able to get their license within 2 weeks. They don't know what they're doing. And it's as easy as if you think contacting an agent on Zillow is getting you in touch with the listing agent of that house, it's just not true.
Oh, it's
A
insane.
lot of the people, basically, the way that Zillow works is that realtors will pay for a zip code.
Hmm.
And a lot of times that realtor has to be in the top three number of people that are paying for that zip code to get leads. But
Hmm.
when you click contact an agent, you're essentially just going to the person that is
Is paying for
paying the
that
most
lead.
for that zip
Yeah.
code.
Yeah.
And the realtors that are usually paying the most for that zip code are the ones that need to pay
Right.
to
They
get
need the
leads.
leads.
Where
Yeah.
there's a lot of, fortunately, our business is mainly word of mouth. We don't pay for anything on
Yeah.
Zillow
Or referrals
or
from past
referrals from past
clients.
clients as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So it really is talking to the right realtor to get set up, the right lender to get set up,
Right.
looking into those grants, finding out, hey, this is what my monthly payments will look like at 500, 600, 700, 800,000, whatever
Right.
ballpark you're
Yeah.
looking in.
With this much down payment.
And then going and
Yeah.
getting your feet wet in houses, having your
Yeah.
realtor show you those houses, going to open
Right.
houses and say like, yeah, this may be a potential. The other thing for first time home buyers that are in rentals that I like to point out is it's silly to me sometimes that somebody could be paying 500, $600,000 for a home, putting all their life savings into it. But when the rental says, hey, you're going to have to pay a month fee to back out of this lease, which may be $3,000. I know $3,000 is a lot of money, but you're willing to spend over $500,000 on a home.
Right.
If it's the right house for you,
Like just do it.
in 5 years when you're in that house, you're not going to care about that $3,000.
Yeah, you
Go
just
and get
gotta
the
do
house
it.
that you want.
Yep, exactly. And I think that read something that this might be changing soon where those that are renting, because that doesn't really go towards your credit report as it should.
Sorry, say that again.
When somebody is paying rent, so like if they're paying a 3,200 in rent a month,
Mhm.
that's not showing up on, when they're applying for a mortgage.
No, I mean it all depends on how you're paying for it. It all depends on who your landlord is, but a
Yeah.
lot of the property management companies can give
They'll give like some receipt or
receipt or
yeah,
summary on
that they
that
were
you've been on
paying and they've
time.
been doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very important. I know that there's a lot of I didn't get a credit card until probably a lot longer than a lot of other people, but it's important that hey, if you're thinking about getting a house soon, if you don't have a long credit history, go and get a credit card and
Mhm.
just pay it off on time. Build that
Yeah.
credit just so
Yeah.
that you can qualify for something.
I also think people are surprised at what credit score they need to get pre-approved for a mortgage.
Mhm.
Like, you don't have to have like an over 8,
No,
you
no,
don't have
definitely
to
not.
have a perfect
It
credit score to buy a
helps.
house.
It
It
helps,
obviously helps,
but
with the fees and
yeah.
everything,
Don't
but
don't quote me on this, but I think like anything 740 or over to a lender is
is
basically
like
a
perfect.
perfect
Yeah.
score. It shouldn't affect anything.
And I know we've talked about this because we do work with rentals too, and our how we qualify tenants, we are very strict. Like, we
Mhm.
want to make sure these are going to be really good tenants for our landlords, and we make sure they're making a certain amount over what the rental is. Lenders aren't as strict as we are
No, no, they're not.
with qualifying tenants.
No.
So it's just interesting. It's like, I feel like so many people think buying a home is so far out of reach,
Yeah.
and it's not.
No, it's
It's
not. I
not.
mean, you do need some savings, but a lot of
Yeah.
times, like in this area at least, when you get a rental, you are paying the real estate commission, or the realtor's commission.
Right.
So you need 3.5 months rent up front,
I
which
know,
is
which is
1 month for the first month's rent, a month and a half for the
easily,
security
yeah,
deposit,
easily 10
1 month
grand.
that gets split between the landlord's agent and the tenant's agent.
Yep.
So I mean, if it's a $3,000 rental,
I
you're over
know. You're
$10,000 in
already,
upfront
oh,
cost. There's a down payment, and then if you qualify for the grant, there's your closing cost.
yeah, that's it right there. It's
So,
crazy. The price you gotta pay.
price you got to pay if you want a rental in New
And if you
Jersey.
wanna live in New Jersey, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of like change direction here with sellers. When you do show a lot of homes for buyers, like, you're always out showing houses all over. I always joke that you like drive all over New Jersey. What are some things when you're showing buyers? So we work with listings too, obviously, but that's us representing the sellers. When you're representing the buyers and showing them homes and working with them through transaction, what are some things that sellers do in their home or along the way that you feel like turn off buyers?
Ooh. I mean, number one for me, and this may just be me, I think I pointed out to the buyers, but the stick-in Febrezes in the outlets,
Oh, it's
no go.
disgusting. I
They
know.
first off smell terrible. I
Toxic.
mean, if anybody thinks otherwise, I
Yeah,
don't think your nose works.
smells
But
like poison.
and
Yeah.
number two, I think that you're hiding something.
Oh, yeah.
And if usually I see it down in a basement, that I can see that white efflorescence all over the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that they're trying to get rid of a musty smell, or maybe pet smells, where
Yeah.
again, a lot of times you can clean that up quickly, but if cats or dogs pee throughout the house, you may be redoing floors and subfloors.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is definitely a no-go, number one. Number two, this is totally up to the seller. I've been noticing this a lot the last couple of years. Cameras everywhere.
Oh,
Totally up to the seller. I get it that you want your house to feel safe and nothing to feel stolen.
yeah.
And I do understand if you meet a lot of these realtors, I understand that you
Yeah,
can worry.
that's true.
Knock on wood. I don't want to knock this microphone over. I mean, we've never had anything stolen from one of our listings, but cameras turn people off.
It's
The buyer
weird.
is trying to walk
Yeah.
through that house and envision themselves being home, and they
Yeah.
get turned
And
off by it.
a Ring doorbell or like an exterior camera is different.
Yes.
We people expect Ring doorbells now. It's when you're walking through the home, or like you're at a home open house and there's cameras everywhere, and you can see that like there's a light on the cameras.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell when somebody's looking through the camera. Like,
Yeah.
it's not hidden.
No. No.
And it's very off-putting. It is.
Yeah,
And
it makes them feel awkward, definitely.
extra weird when,
Yeah.
like somebody calls you later and like already knows your feedback.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, obviously, I've probably could write a book someday on some of the experiences, but
Yeah.
like walking in on people sleeping.
Oh my gosh.
So there's just
There's
obviously
so
some
many,
things that you don't want to do,
there's so
but
many different things,
Yeah.
and those aren't the houses where there's cameras.
no. And it's really like, it's just better for whether it doesn't bother me when the seller's home, but it is interesting that I don't remember the last time one of our buyers has offered on a house when we went on a showing and the seller was
Yeah.
there trying to give us the tour.
Yeah. I think that it's so important, and we say this to our listing clients a lot, that your home like part of the staging process for us. Like, people think staging like we're coming in with plants, we're coming in with chairs. Staging is making your home a product because we're trying to sell it. and obviously it's homey, like you're selling that whole experience. But when a buyer is coming in to view a home that potentially could become their home, they don't want to envision you in your home that might become like there's something weird about that.
Yeah,
You know
there
what I
is.
mean? Like it's not going to feel like theirs. And we want buyers to walk into a home and be like, oh, I can really see myself living here. And most likely that's not going to happen if like there's somebody sleeping in the bed or there's like, Mr. Smith is like walking us through the house and telling us like his life
What's
story.
so great about it? So I mean,
Yeah.
it
And
is
it's
off putting.
nice. Like you do, at some point you do want to know like the seller did this. This is how you work this. But that first initial, like that first impression is very impactful.
Yeah.
And that has to be a positive, first impression.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
So I mean, summarize that. Like if you like want to make your house smell good, bake. Like if you're really
Oh, just
care
like
about that for
clean
an open
it.
house,
Yeah.
bake some cookies right before the open house.
Yeah, or just clean it.
Yeah,
Or
just
clean it. People, and there has been such a shift in, what's healthy and what's not. And I think a lot of people do recognize that like the plug-in, scent things, or even like Fabulous, like I joke Fabuloso, like that's like the OG like floor cleaner, but like it literally smells like poison.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that is off-putting for a lot of people too. But still on the buyers, what are some like updates that are really big for them? Like when they go in, obviously people love kitchens, bathrooms.
I think it all depends on the price point. I mean, I
Yeah.
think when you start getting into that higher end, and I'll call it like 650 plus, like they're starting to like to see the kitchens being done kind of neutrally. Their white kitchens are still
Yeah.
in, bathrooms being done. If you're in that lower end range, or I'll call it the entry level range, it's a better term, the 400, 450, 500, the buyers like to know that the roof is working, that they don't have
Yeah.
to do that first up
There's not
right
going to be
away,
huge expenses right when they move in.
that the boiler's solid, potentially the AC solid if there's AC there. They're okay with the kitchen being older as long as the kitchen's
It's
functioning.
functional. Yep.
And at that price range, it just has to be clean.
Yeah.
But like they just want to know that, hey, I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
I'm putting everything into my down payment
Right.
and my closing cost. I want to get in here and not have to worry about spending $15,000 on a roof in the first year.
Exactly.
That I can save up that money and paint. I can paint the cabinets if I can't flip the kitchen right away. Do the
Yeah.
bathroom when I save up enough money.
Yep.
So they just care about the functionality of the house more so at that range.
And I think this is another good point because a lot of people don't realize this. When you're getting a loan and you go through a home inspection, and we just had one recently that fell apart that, exactly like the home inspection was so bad, and, the buyer couldn't invest all this money to make all these fixes that had to be done. But the seller can't give you a credit to just take care of all of them. They can only give you a credit that covers the closing costs.
Yeah, that is part of the issues there too. Is where if let's say that your closing costs are 15,000, that's the max that they can credit you.
Yeah,
you can get creative. I mean, attorneys would have to get involved on, hey, can we put this in escrow? It has to go to a contractor. But anything, say if it's 15,000 closing costs and you get a $30,000 credit, you're not truly getting $30,000 unless we get very creative with attorneys. I mean, you're getting $15,000 cash to pay the closing costs and $15,000 reduction in purchase price. If you're putting 5% down, you're only getting 5 cents on the dollar for that.
Exactly.
Back in your pocket.
And with the escrow with the contractor, like some people just won't even do that. That's like very complicated.
Better trust
like
your contractor if you go that
and
route.
that's it. Like you have to make sure like you have a contractor because that check is being written to that contractor.
Yeah.
Like that money is not going to you, and you disperse that money like at a later date to that contractor. Like that check is literally written to that contractor. So I think that's happened like once or twice over the last couple.
Usually when it gets into that, that deep into it, usually the seller's not willing to credit that much, or the buyer is just like,
maybe we should,
what am I doing here?
Maybe we should walk away from this one.
So it's rare.
Yeah.
See, it with septics. That's the main one.
Septics have been a big thing recently too.
Yeah.
A lot of bad septics, or just old septics.
Good for our buyers. Getting new septics.
Get a new septic. Yeah. And it's interesting because a lot of Denville, especially in Rockaway, there's obviously like some sections that are septic, but like we pretty much deal mostly with
with sewer.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
with public water, public sewer, and then, but there has been more well and septic recently, it seems like.
Yeah.
But gotta get out, go out to the other
Go
towns.
out into the woods.
Another thing that is really, really big, especially when we're showing houses that we point out, because obviously at realtors, we need to point out things that, your typical buyer isn't looking for, like looking past like the nice kitchen.
Mhm.
Are the gutters have the gutters been cleaned? Is the drainage like being pushed away from the house? Like all of these things that are just maintenance things
Yeah.
that will show kind of like the condition of the home.
Yeah.
What do you look for certain things when you're looking at a house?
Oh
like,
yeah, I think
and point them
I
out.
think that's why a lot of people like to work with us. I mean, even today, our favorite inspector, Ken Hartman, today was me and Ken's 135th inspection together.
Oh my God.
And
that's not even like talking about
that's not even the whole team.
Yeah.
He said that the whole team, he's over 200.
Wow.
So I mean, just very valuable to be on those inspections. I
Yeah,
mean,
you learn a lot.
He's extremely thorough. You learn something new
Yeah.
every single time, and that's what we bring to these showings. We
Yeah.
do definitely not what Ken does in,
No,
in
yeah.
terms of running all the appliances, but I mean, we take a close look, tell our clients what to be worried about.
Right.
And that's even important for when you're making the offer. If it gets competitive and you have to waive something and say like, hey, I'm only going to go after structural or environmental, or I'm going to waive the first $2,000 of inspection items, we're going to try to give you that heads up just after the showing on how it went.
Yeah. And they need to understand like what all that entails so they're protected and, feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that's too, like I always joke, it's like, sometimes you got to kill like a deal before it even happens. Like when you're at a showing where you walk in, you're just like, absolutely not.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
We're pretty blunt on that. I've said it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to those sellers that may have cameras in their house, but they're not our listings.
Yeah, but there are because
blunt sometimes that you just can't buy this. It's
no,
not.
You
it's not a
can't.
good investment.
And I think that like we'll probably start seeing a few more flips in the next year or so. But like a couple years ago, there were so many flips in like terrible, like absolutely terrible job, like just the worst. Just bad. Like it looked pretty. You had your pretty white kitchen with stainless steel appliances, millennial gray walls. We're kind of out of that now. But
and I don't know if it's also just that we're children of a contractor as well.
Yeah.
But like we haven't sold a flip to a buyer, and I can't tell you.
Oh, I know
how long. And I'm not saying every flip's bad, but like where the builders have to, the entry price. Any builder will tell you. The investors that we work with, they make the money on the purchase. They do not make it on where they sell. Of course, they want to sell it for a lot. But if they have to spend way too much to get that flip up front, they're going to try to cut some corners sometimes.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Especially the inexperienced builders on making money there. So you can tell that just the quality, the Home Depot grade cabinets that go in there, the plumbing, and it just won't last that long.
Yeah.
And that's why we give our buyers the heads up. And a lot of times we could just tell them like, hey, you can go and buy this house, do it yourself for this amount. And it's a much better investment.
Yeah. Because the people that flip, they always cheap out on like the things that matter the most. I
love when I go into the gray laminate floor houses and the white kitchens and the nice bathrooms. And then I see a boiler that's
from
like built in the 1950s.
I know. It's like insane.
It's like great.
Or like the roof literally has like no like traction left. It's just like the smoothest thing ever.
It's like,
but
all right,
yeah, it's always
lipstick on a pig here.
No, exactly.
It's like if you did those things, I think these buyers would have a lot more fun fixing up the kitchen, the bathroom the way that they want.
And it is because all the contract, not all, I'm like generalizing everybody. It's not every contractor, but a lot of the flips, like you just had gray laminate floors, the white cabinets, like the countertops, the stainless steel, it's all like very similar.
Yeah.
And a lot of buyers now, like they've moved on to the next trend, like that really isn't the look anymore. We were kind of joking, like I still love a white farmhouse with black windows.
Yes.
But
yes.
we've kind of shifted out of that.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. Trends are always changing. So it's just better, when first time home buyers like, yeah, HGTV, like we all love it. We all love these shows, Selling Sunset, whatever. But like buying a house, good bones, mechanicals that you don't have to worry about because those are expensive investments, fixes. And then you do things, just paint some walls. There's a lot of things you can do over the next 5 to 10 years or however long you're going to be there, and that are
Yeah,
going to be
chip
more
away, room by room.
chip away. Yeah.
That's it.
That's part of the fun. It's part of the
Yeah.
fun of it. But, another big question that we get when we're listing is, should they renovate a room before listing? And I think like we kind of just touched on that with buyers, like what they're looking for.
I think that this is just the and we host the staging seminar at the library once a year too. But like it just all depends. I don't think that you can say a blanket statement here that covers everything.
Right.
Odds are that we're gonna say no, don't do that. But
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you have a perfect house everywhere else and there's just one clear flaw, yeah, it may be worth doing it because you want to be paying a price or getting a price that buyer is saying, I don't have to do a thing here.
Yeah.
But odds are, no, you're not renovating much
No,
before
you're
listing.
not. And I think, it's easy. And that's obviously why you hire a home inspector, because you can, like what you said, you go in a property, you look for flaws, you look for things that potentially could come up, but you're not really going to know what's going on with the house. And you can renovate all you want, but like if things aren't working, or if there's like, major issues with the house, when a home inspector is coming in and like crawling through the crawl space or climbing up into the attic, doesn't matter if you have, a gorgeous new kitchen that you spent like an insane, $80,000 on. It doesn't matter if, you have cracks in your foundation wall, or your furnace isn't working, or, you have like raccoons living up in your attic, it's like, it doesn't matter.
I remember that one.
No, I was just thinking because, we work with so many people. Like you just said, that we have like over 30 under contract right now. And people see the Zillow listings, they flip through the pictures, but there are so many different things that happen from listing a home or going under contract to closing.
Yeah.
It made me think about
so many walks of life. I mean, just so many different stories.
So many different stories.
That's why you gotta love the job though. Every day is different.
No, every day is different. And it's so true. But I was thinking about, with all of that, like lipstick on a pig, or like, some of these crazy things, like you had a $2.7 million under contract recently where they went into the home inspection. Like the house was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And the home inspection was a disaster.
Yes, it was. It was. And you just would not ever guess, back to the raccoons in the attic, that the raccoons would be in the attic and all throughout the ductwork.
Yeah.
So.
Like it was the raccoons lived there more than the sellers.
They did.
I think,
they did.
But
that's what happens when sellers have several different houses throughout America.
Yeah. $2.7 million house.
It.
Yeah. And I think that's like, lessons learned from tough transactions. There's so many different things that happen that, it's not even, you were talking about how easy it is to become a realtor, and it is, even though the class sucks and the test is very difficult. The test is very difficult, but it's a 75-hour course. Anybody could do it. Anybody can study and pass the test. I think what is truly, what really matters when you're hiring a real estate professional is experience.
I think it's the most important thing. And I mean, just like the longer that you're doing this, or I guess just the volume that you're doing it, being in it for 8 years or so now, it's just the relationships that you make. It helps, especially on the buyer side, it helps you get offers accepted.
Yeah.
When you know the other agent and you take the time to talk to them about your clients, why they're the perfect fit for the house.
Right.
Even though we may not have the highest bid, we're going to be the easiest going throughout this process. And that we have the experience to get this done. Yep.
And you have leveraged that so well. And obviously, like mom being in the business for, longer than us, like she has those relationships too. There are times where your buyer isn't the highest or the best offer, but that realtor goes, I know John Sheeran. I know he will get this to closing. And that's what wins the offer.
And it happens on our listings too.
Yeah.
You better,
totally.
like we do sit down with the sellers and we tell them, hey, here's your top ones. here's the realtor that we feel like is
Yeah.
the most competent
And
to get this done and get it to
we
closing.
now, when we're going through a highest and best situation or competitive offer situation, we ask the realtors, who's your attorney and who's the home inspector?
Yeah.
Because those are also two like key role in the lender too, like three key roles in addition to the realtor. We all have to work together to get to closing. Like
Hmm.
it's not the real estate attorney or the realtor really like make sure everybody's doing what they need
Yeah.
to do. But there's so many attorneys too that say they do real estate and then it's, we go into attorney review on a Monday and then Thursday we're still waiting for a letter because the attorney's been in court
Yeah.
the
Or
last 3
they just
days.
think that they're a litigator and their job is to nickel and dime our sellers
Yeah.
on getting the house for as cheap as possible when we've already
Negotiated
negotiated
all the
these things up
terms.
front, when
Yeah.
it's not, this shouldn't be a litigation. There's a buyer that wants to buy a house, a seller that wants to
Right.
sell it.
Right.
If we have to negotiate and work out some things, do the home inspection, that's fair game,
Yeah, that'll
but
come later.
it shouldn't be taking advantage. And that's what we try to get rid of up front.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's for us when we're the listing agent and we have 10 offers, that is like, it's not just the price, it's not just the terms that really does come into play is who the realtor is. Are they going to communicate with us? Are we going to get this to closing? Because you can have 10 offers and you can accept one. And then 2 months later or a month later, after you go through home inspection, if it falls apart, most likely all those 9 offers, they probably found another
Oh
house at
yeah.
that point.
Yeah.
So, you can have as many backup offers as you want, but like, as we go along, those offers may or may not be there. And then going back to market or, moving on to somebody else, like you might, lose some of that value,
Yep.
especially if like, your furniture is gone or it just depends,
Yeah.
it just depends. So there's a lot of things to think about when you're thinking about offers. So we talked last time about working as a family, and obviously each one of us has like a strong point. I think that we always joke, who's better at what in friendly competition. And, you're the main salesperson on this team. So like you kind of own that role right now.
Hmm.
But do you feel like and you are competitive, like you played sports your whole life, you still, you're down at Gardner Fields playing
Yeah.
pickleball with your wife, like,
Yeah.
trying to kick ass. But do you feel like you're competitive and that's like getting that offer accepted? Obviously you care
Yeah.
about that for your
That's
clients,
why I
but
love what I
like,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's sales, right?
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
mean,
sales.
it is sales. I mean, there's nothing like, I mean, there still is just that adrenaline rush when you get that offer accepted, or if
Yeah.
that offer comes in on your listing and you're getting the deal done. I mean, it's you gotta love it. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
why, again, like you do everything you can to just get that information for your clients, see what the other side's willing to tell you
Right.
on getting that deal
Yeah.
done. And at some point, obviously, still managing your client and telling them, hey,
Mhm.
this is just getting too ridiculous. Like, it's
Yeah.
not worth going this high.
Yep.
But if it's worth going that high or trying to get that deal closed, yeah, I'm very competitive on getting it accepted.
Yeah, and you do such a good job picking up the phone, calling the realtor, saying, "What do my clients have to do to get this offer?"
Hmm.
And I think like as listing agents, because I work a lot with like some of our listing clients, that we get like offers or like somebody will say that they're interested in a house and then you never hear from them.
Yeah, and I think a lot of buyers right now get, especially the young families, they get disappointed that they can't write love letters anymore because it's against the fair housing laws.
Yeah.
But I mean, I will make sure that I explain
Oh, we're writing a buyer
everything
summary.
everything
Yeah.
to that realtor. They will know
Yeah.
your kids' names. They will know almost your blood type by the end of
Yeah.
this thing, because I want them to know you as well as possible, because that
Yeah.
goes a long way when
It
they're sitting
does.
down with their sellers with 5, 6 offers. Hey, I feel like I know John's clients at this point. Here's why they're a good fit for this house.
Yeah, and to kind of understand where they're coming from, you can get an idea of how they're going. Are they going to be respectful during this transaction? Are they going to be, slimy? Like there are a lot of buyers that, okay, I'm going to make this offer and then I'm going to do the home inspection and then I'm going to get all this money back. I'm going to ask for all these things because I actually wanted to make an offer of this off the bat. I just did this to get it accepted.
Yeah.
You know, so like you can really gauge, you know, how somebody may, you know, it all depends.
And again, I think it's just the experience and the volume that we do it. It lets us remember who stays true to those things. I know that every agent can't control their clients. Like the clients
no, you can't. Yeah, you can't always.
Everybody, the actual buyer, the seller calls the shot at the end of the day. But I mean, it was noted this week on one of our sales where we negotiated only for structural and environmental items, and the inspection letter comes back and they want a filter replaced on the microwave. And I asked the buyer's agent, why is that in there? And he's like, I feel like it's fair. I was like, all right, duly noted on the next time you offer on one of our listings. So,
yeah, it's just, it's weird. I know. It's always, I'm always kind of shocked at like some of the home inspection request lists.
Oh, man.
Like,
well, that's going back to the beginning of this, and I'm not sure how this podcast will be cut up, but the beginning of this, our conversation today, how buyers are fighting back. Nobody would have asked for a microwave filter a couple months ago.
I know, you would have been
they
like,
would have known
what?
better. But these buyers are really getting aggressive on, they want stuff back. If they feel like something's wrong, they're not just turning a blind eye and being like, hey, it's got 4 walls and a roof, I'll move in. They want the house to be safe.
Yeah, I know. But I'm always shocked at when people are asking for things like, you know, that were very obvious when you walk through the home. Like, and I guess that just comes down to maybe not good representation or like not having that conversation with your realtor and saying, you know, this offer is based on everything that I've seen at the house when I viewed it and everything that I've signed off on the seller's disclosure. You know, because like a lot of times we do get, you know, requests that say, this isn't, you know, this is damaged or this is scratched or something ridiculous. And it's, you know, that's something that was so obvious when you were looking at the house.
Yeah. I mean, or like if you see a listing, because it's very common to see that fireplaces or chimneys are as is.
Right.
Or the garage or deck or whatever is as is, because they're kind of just bonuses on a house.
Right.
Pick up the phone, ask the realtor why. Is there any known issues?
Yeah.
Or have people come back, and on our listings, we tell them like, hey, we're looking for these things to be as is. Take a close look at it. We don't know of anything wrong, if there is truly nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But go back and take a close look, because you're not asking for X, Y, and Z on it.
Exactly. So. All right, we'll do a lightning round and then we'll wrap it up. Okay. Who got into real estate first?
We got our license at the same time, I remember.
We did officially, but I was in real estate first.
You were
I was like
first.
doing like administrative stuff.
Well, I got licensed in that lull period after college, and then worked in finance for a few years.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you got your license before that.
But we did. I mean, I remember getting the license together. What was our teacher's name? Gary?
Oh, no. You're saying Gary because he reminds us of our cousin's Uncle Gary.
Yeah.
That's really funny. Yeah, we took a class and had talking about how easy the class is. This guy was like the easiest teacher ever. And that was after I took classes. You'd literally sit at this place from like 8 a.m. to like 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
It was brutal. It was awful. But this guy was so nice. He was so easy. And then it's when Mara's was still there and we were like sitting at Mara's like studying and trying to, you know, pass the test. And then you went into finance. I was helping mom with, you know, the listings. And then we kind of just been here ever since.
Yeah.
And that was like almost 10 years ago. That was 2016. That's
that was almost 10 years ago.
Like we're like seasoned agents, Sean.
I know.
Seasoned agents. Who's more competitive?
I am.
You are.
Definitely.
Yeah. You are.
In every aspect of life. Board games, everything.
Yeah. Who's better at directions?
Probably you.
Yeah. I think so. Depends, I guess, for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, when you set your mind to it, you get it done.
Yeah, I think I'm more direct than you.
What does that mean?
You like to talk. You like to talk way more than I do.
That's the sales side of things.
Oh my gosh. But during the team meetings, I'm like, okay, this could have been like a 2-minute conversation.
Yeah, well, should be taking notes.
Yeah.
So.
Who's most likely to answer a client text at midnight?
Definitely me.
Yeah, I mean, you're up at midnight, but I definitely, like, mom will say to me, she's like, Genevieve, like, you gotta, like, stop.
Yeah.
Like I that's what I like about texting is that like you can quickly get back to people. And I've noticed, like I was talking to mom about this the other day, that it's easier to just respond to people before these text messages like kind of disappear into the abyss again. Cause like they just like come like rolling in like
It's
rapid fire.
yeah, I mean, it's why I hate texting because I feel like you can get a phone call done in 2 minutes for something that would take a half hour back and forth texting. But
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
our clients know to call me if there's something very
Yeah, they
important.
do. I like
Yeah.
I am with you on that, but like there's also something with text about it just being documented.
Hmm.
Like I said this to you the other day, you asked me to write up an offer and I was like in the middle of something and I like, was like, wait, 30 days or 45, like something, 45-day closing. And I just completely, but if that was the text,
It's done.
would have saved a
It's
second
done.
call.
Offer got accepted anyway.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
30 days, 30-day closing.
Yeah.
Who's more chill during negotiations?
There's nothing chill about me, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
it's yeah.
you're not. I mean, but
No.
you've like absolutely mastered negotiation. So
Yeah. I
doesn't
mean, it's
matter if you're
second, it's
chill or not.
second nature to me at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm clearly very high energy,
Yes.
which I think you need to be
Which
in,
like is,
in
I
sales.
think like the number one trait of a good salesperson.
Yeah. But chill is definitely not in the
Chill's
first
not the
1,000
word. Chill's not the word
adjectives that
for
you would
you.
describe me.
No,
So.
no, definitely not. What is your dream listing? A modern new build done correctly or a vintage fixer upper?
Oof. I mean, dream listing. I mean, I obviously there's something to be said about just the traditional houses that
Yeah.
every buyer is going to like and it sells very quick. I also like the challenge ones. I mean, I take pride in getting them sold. The ones that they're just so unique that there's not going to
Yeah.
be many buyers for it, and we have to get really creative on how to sell it. The funny thing about like at least me within the business is like I'm not one of those like people that are just in love with houses or real estate. Like
Yeah.
I love architecture whenever I go to Europe. I mean, it's beautiful to look at
Yeah.
it, but I'm not like somebody that's watching HGTV. I like the relationship side of the
Right.
business.
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
care less what the house is like. I mean, I know how to consult people and advise them through it and how
Yeah.
to just make it as optimal as possible or what's the best thing to buy. But
Yeah.
I
And I
mean,
think that's like the biggest misconception with realtors is because so many people watch HGTV or like, Selling Sunset, which I've also never watched. Like, I just, know the name of
yeah.
it. But
I am a sucker for lakes. Like I love
oh yeah,
I
the
love a
lake.
good lakefront.
Yeah.
There was one if they see this, I mean it is the coolest house
Yeah.
ever where it's just a expanded ranch on Shongam Lake.
Yeah.
Lakefront has just a huge backyard frontage on the lake and the pool in the backyard is
Just
just
amazing.
it's amazing.
Well,
I
that
mean,
house kind of had like a mid-century vibe, though.
it did. I mean,
yeah, it was like a really cool ranch.
yeah.
Beautiful house. I
Had
mean,
that like
Shangam
Frank
Lake
Lloyd
is
Wright
yeah.
feel to it. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
No, there are some. I'm with you though. Like, people think that we walk into like all these amazing homes, and we do see a lot of amazing homes and a lot of good, solid. Like, that's really what it comes down to. Like, this is a good house, and that doesn't mean like this house is amazing. Like, it has a pool, it has this, it has that. Like, no, this house has good bones. It's clean. It's well maintained. Like, those are really the things that like catch our eye, I think.
Yeah.
I think for me, since I do like a lot of the marketing for our listings, is that, a modern new build obviously is like such an easy, fun, thing to market because like everybody's
then you get
interested.
to drive a Lamborghini too on the
Yeah,
advertising.
I mean,
so.
that's always fun, right?
Yeah.
But like vintage homes, we have one, and it's not a fixer upper by any means. It's a beautiful home, but in Booton, I forget what that neighborhood's called right now. I'm like forgetting, but like they have like gorgeous, gorgeous homes. Like all of the homes, Reserve Street,
Yeah, in the park section.
the park section. There you
Yeah.
go. That's what I was trying to think of. That home was so fun to shoot because it had so much character.
That was yeah.
Yeah, that home is so beautiful. So it is. It's just there's a lot of, but even like we've had a couple like hoarder houses, like those are interesting
They're
too.
still to
Yeah.
me they're still fun to sell.
Yeah, they are. They are. So
Yeah.
it's all good stuff. You just said lakefronts. You love, I mean, we're lake kids, so we love
Hmm.
a lakefront, but Lakeview or walk to town convenience. But I mean, we're spoiled because I mean, I have both at where I live.
Yeah.
You're at the far end.
I've both with a nice little hike,
Yeah, you're
but
John's next to the woods, but he's
yeah,
still in the lake. But we're Denville. That's why, like, I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Denville, person through and through, born and raising my kids here. But Denville is so cool because you literally could get like everything in Denville.
yeah, you can,
And
you
I mean,
can.
all the same with surrounding
Well,
towns,
we're
but
we're
like,
just lucky where we're at with like
yeah,
the local towns, like selling one in like you said in Boonton right now, great
yeah,
downtown. I
yeah.
mean,
There's so many
Morristown's great.
downtowns. It's so unique. There's not
Even
many other places like this.
even Hackettstown, a half hour west.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
just
no,
a
and
great downtown.
I was talking to somebody today too. They live in Sparta, and she said, I mean, she's lived there forever, but she grew up in she went to Morris Hills, so she was in one of those towns, and she said like she wanted to live in Denville or Morristown to be near the town, and she went with Sparta because they still have that like Lake Mohawk, like that
Yeah,
little
that
community.
boardwalk there.
Yeah, and
It's really cool.
it's really special too. So we're really lucky to live where we live in North Jersey.
Yeah.
Open house snacks, yay or nay?
No, absolutely not.
I'm
I
always
mean,
surprised at how many realtors do that.
oh my gosh, it's just amazing. I mean, you're just asking to grab a vacuum at the end of your
I
open house
know.
and clean it up. I mean, I guess it all depends. Like they're
Yeah.
a little spoiled the last couple of years with the sellers market that you don't have to do all these
Yeah, you don't need to
extracurriculars. But like,
yeah.
I mean, back in the day, yeah, you'd get maybe some like sandwiches if it was a very
Yeah,
high
or
end
like
house.
little, yeah.
It's that movie
oh.
I Love You Man. Get Jason Segel walking
Oh my
through,
gosh.
eating all the sandwiches.
What
Hopefully
is,
not farting like that movie though.
I was gonna go ask you what your go-to outfit staple is. I mean, you're not wearing it today,
If
but
you work with me,
typically
you
are.
know. I mean, I cycle through the same clothes.
I made fun of John because he was doing those like we have the listing videos, and he rarely does the intros because he's off like at other appointments. But I'm like, John, like you're gonna have to like wear, and this is like he's not wearing the same outfit every single day, obviously, but like there was like a good like 4 or 5 videos where you were wearing the same exact
I know what
outfit.
shirts I like.
And
I
I'm
know when
like,
I'm on
people
camera.
are gonna start thinking you don't own
I'm a
any
little
other
worried I
clothes.
wore this in the last video that we did like this. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
But this sweater that it was like a quarter zip, and it was like is super nice
Oh,
material.
it's the best though.
This is our previous
Septic
favorite septic inspector who he stopped doing septic
He
inspections.
got into the golf apparel.
Golf apparel, and it's like really good stuff. So
It's great.
we're still trying to get some branded apparel. So
Yeah.
we'll have to get on Danny for that.
Yeah,
But,
DJ Khaled wears it exclusively.
Would you rather host a first-time buyer seminar or film a virtual tour?
Oh, first time home buyer seminar, easy.
Yeah.
I hate being on camera. I'm looking straight into the camera right now, but this is no fun to me.
But you always psych yourself out for these, and then you like, we've been talking for an hour and you're like shocked by that. It went by so fast.
Yeah, I know, but still,
Yeah, John, yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
What is your favorite room in a house?
I mean, it's got to be just the family room or
The
living
family room. I know,
Yeah.
I agree. It's like, to me,
Yeah.
it's like the family room, living room, kitchen area. It's like
Yeah.
where you're like living your life, hosting your parties. And
I mean, me personally, I know it's important for a lot of buyers. Could care less about bedrooms.
yeah.
Um,
Same. I'm the same way.
yeah.
And I say that sometimes I'm like, do you guys like hang out in your bedrooms, or is this,
Yeah.
like for me, like I literally just go in my bedroom to go to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, you know what my living room looks like. I mean, I can't believe Nikki allowed it, but we got the TV
Well, your
above
family room. Let's not.
the TV above the fireplace,
Yeah.
and my TV off to the left for the Yankees every single night.
I know. It's so
So-
funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you look at when you walk into a listing,
Ooh,
other than your fragrance plugins?
into a listing appointment or into a showing?
Ooh, both. Let's start with listing appointment.
I mean, listing appointment, it's talking to the people that are kind enough to be interviewing us for the listing
Yeah.
and going from there and asking if they want to give a tour. And obviously, it's usually the first time meeting, so I usually let them give a tour.
And I think for listing appointments, like because we do ask like when they call in, like so you go in with a number in mind
Yeah.
and with comps and everything based on 4 bedrooms, 2
Yeah,
baths,
I've
or
usually
like all the
asked them.
stats?
A lot of the stuff is public information, but I usually ask them what their recent upgrades
Yeah,
are.
because
I
that's a
always love when
huge
somebody
thing.
says, "Yeah, I did a new kitchen, it's 35 years old," but
Renovated kitchen
yeah,
in like
renovated kitchen, 30.
2009. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not renovated anymore, guys.
Showings are different. I mean, showings all depends on, again, like it's whatever the client's needs are. Me personally, I'd love to go down to the basement right away because
Yeah,
I'll tell you right away. Like if there's major issues down there, then
right.
is it worth?
You
That's
can
the
kind of
integrity of the
just tell.
house.
Yeah, you can just
So
tell.
yeah.
What is your favorite spot to grab lunch between showings?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, Peggy at Mountain Lakes Bagels.
I know. I've been going to Mountain Lakes Bagel so much
It's
recently
also
too.
right across the street. Not to
Well,
like.
it's yeah.
There's so many good spots around here, but
There
it's right
is.
across the street from our office.
Well, it's like you pass it to take the U-turn
Yeah.
to come back to our office going west.
Yeah. It's got to be quick.
I know.
And try to be somewhat healthy to keep this frame, but I mean that's not easy to do
We
quick
used
either.
to. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, we used to get sushi. We used to go to sushi lunch special so much. We haven't done that in a
Imagine
long
having
time.
the time like
I know.
that
We
we
used to
used
have
to do
time to go
that.
get lunch.
Miga
Imagine
sushi.
that. I know.
Their lunch
Miga.
special
Oh my
is
gosh, it's
goated.
like $11. You get like 2 rolls. Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. What's on your real estate bucket list this year?
Oof. I would love to reach out to every past client. That is always my we always get towards the holidays and then you want to start just kind of gearing up for the holidays and getting presents for family and everything. But like, I mean, I do miss a lot of these people and like the
Yeah.
day-to-day grind of the people that
Oh,
want
you
to
mean
work
like
with us.
actually like go get a drink with people, like hang
Or
out.
just hang out, talk to them
Yeah.
on the phone, see how
Yeah.
they're doing. There are several past clients that I miss. And it's why I love this job is because
Yeah.
you get to meet these people and you feel like you're impacting their lives
Yeah.
where you're
I
getting
know.
them their dream house.
You do. You become their friends.
Yeah, you
like,
become- and
you
then
become their friends.
You get, and we appreciate all the current clients, obviously, in the new business.
Well, they
and you
become
get-
our friends too.
but
It's
then
the same thing.
It's the same thing,
Yeah.
but you have to service that because that's what's hot and they hired you to do this.
Yeah.
And you have to service that, but then it may not give you the time to go and say hi or catch up with that past client. I do miss a lot of them.
And I think because we do our client appreciation every year where we, invite every single past client, you know,
Yeah.
so we do see a lot of these, these people that we miss and, that we've worked with during the Thanksgiving, time, but it's so rushed. It feels
is.
so rushed.
It is.
And I do know, like, I'm with you. Like, I've worked with people where I'm like, I would like actually like go hang
Yeah.
out with them.
Yeah.
I wish they would invite me
Can we be
over.
best friends?
Yeah. Can I bring my kids, guys? Thanks. What is your biggest real estate pet peeve? I have so many. And they all have to do with like other realtors and attorneys.
Yeah, I think it's slowness, that some things being out of your control and you do try to
Yeah.
control as much as possible, and then other things holding things up for slowness. I mean, look, this comes with the job, but obviously you can't walk away from this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If something comes up at 9 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
you gotta, if you
And-
can't take it that night, you gotta take it first thing in the morning.
And
So
that's like, because of that, I think like one of my biggest real estate pet peeves is when you get calls from other realtors or like other real estate professionals asking a question that's like on the listing.
oh, that is
It's so annoying to me.
that's the worst.
We have a listing right now that's very unique. It's such a beautiful community on the lake, and it's a seasonal private community. And it's very unique, very cool. Like, it's just a cool place. I can't even tell you the amount of calls, like, and I have it on 3 different spots. It's like in the description and the showing instructions, like everywhere you could possibly
Cash
put it.
only, seasonal
Cash
community.
only, you have to vacate 90 days, HOA, all
Yeah.
that thing. I would say, I mean, every
Probably once a day.
Oh my God.
Once a day, we get somebody reaching out.
Where
about
you
it.
have to find my number on the listing, right next to it says all of the things that people ask
that
me.
you could have just
It's like,
got
it's
answered.
shocking.
Yeah.
So these are the people, guys, you should not be hiring as your realtor because they don't know how to read.
Those are the people you get when you click contact an agent on Zillow.
Exactly. Coffee or tea before a big day of showings?
Coffee always.
Yeah, I mean, you're a Dunkin' guy.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Where'd he go? Home?
Yeah, I've been making stuff at home.
That's so shoot.
One of our clients, Chris, called me a psycho because I don't put a cap on my coffee. I just put it in my cold coffee in a cup.
Well, is it a Keurig or like you're brewing some coffee?
No, no. Nikki buys like big jugs of iced coffee, and I
Oh,
just
I forgot you're an iced coffee person.
yeah.
I'm like, I need a hot coffee to wake me up in the morning. What is your most used emoji when texting clients?
Thumbs up. Thumbs
Yeah.
up always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love emojis.
Or the eye rolling thing. That happens a lot.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
so funny. I love like how you can like hold onto a text and like acknowledge a text.
I don't know how to do that.
What?
Oh, the hot like the
Yeah, like
exclamation.
you
okay.
acknowledge a text, like you
Yes.
give them a
I didn't understand.
emphasize.
Yeah.
Our mom loves to emphasize the text.
Oh, she emphasizes.
Oh, that's
all the
another one of my
texts.
real estate pet peeves.
Yes.
Is mom not responding to a text but emphasizing it?
After sending it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, she's like that one. I saw something on Instagram. It was like some realtor got arrested for like texting a past client like 180 times. Like that would be mom
I
with
hope this makes the cut.
emphasizing. Yeah. If you were in real estate, what would you be doing?
Some other type
Do you think
of
you would still be in finance? Would you still be sitting at the
potentially.
desk at E-Trade?
I would definitely be brokering some sort of deals, like just
Yeah.
relationship based, sales,
Yeah.
negotiating based. There's something along those lines.
Yeah. I don't know what I would be. I think I would like definitely something with people also.
I would love to be a sports agent.
Yeah, you would be good at that. I
Yeah.
always thought that's what you would do
Yeah.
because you're so obsessed. You're still so obsessed with sports.
Yeah. Or
Um,
GM the Yankees.
I always thought it'd be
Cut
so
Volpe.
fun to like own like a brewery, like what Diamond Spring Brewery's doing. Like that looks like so much fun.
That would be fun.
Right?
That would be fun.
And like you could talk to people, but it's like everybody's like in a really good mood, or
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just
Yeah.
it's like easier in that
Yeah.
kind of way. Who would play you in a real estate themed movie?
Probably Brad Pitt, just based on looks. No clue.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have no clue.
I got no clue.
I got no clue either. I gotta think about that one. I should bring that one back up at the next time. We should
I would
cast a
prefer
movie.
Seth Rogen over anybody.
Pete Davidson.
No.
He's already been in Denville.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen would be pretty funny though.
Yeah.
That would. I saw another one that was like, who would be your dream celebrity client?
Oh, Derek Jeter.
I knew you were gonna say that. I
Yeah.
could have. I literally had that in my head. I knew you were gonna say that.
Easily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
You'd probably have to get a restraining order within the first
He
meeting.
would be
but
the one. You
Yeah.
would be following up with him too many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I always laugh just to talk about, you know, like sports and like clients and stuff. Like we've worked with a couple past Jets players, you
Yeah.
know. And there's this one picture of John.
With
What was his
Nathan Shepard.
what was his position on the Jets?
He's a defensive end.
defensive end. So like a really, really, really big guy.
Yeah.
And you're not like a tall
No.
this guy's hand
Short
literally
kings.
was bigger than John's head.
Yeah.
And like there's this picture like Nathan Shepard's here and John is like literally here. It's like
Yeah.
it makes me laugh.
Felt like a little boy when I shook his hand.
So
but,
hard. I
yeah.
still think about that and laugh. And then what would you think our sibling superpower is that helps in this business?
I just think that we can say anything that freely to each other. And I mean, it just comes down to trust. Like,
It
like even
does.
like how important it was to get that offer in, the one that we were mentioning earlier yesterday, how
Yeah.
I was running around to meetings while I was in the car on these meetings, talking to the client, what do you want to offer?
Yeah.
They're off. The seller already has accepted somebody. They're in attorney review. We have to get this in ASAP.
Right.
So being able to call you, knowing I don't even have to review the offers that you write up, that
Mm-hmm.
there's not going to be any mistakes on it. You sent that out to the seller's attorney. I call the seller's attorney, having a relationship with them, and say, this is what we're doing. Please get this done. You
Yeah.
know that we'll get this to closing.
Right.
And then finding out within 12 hours that we jumped,
That you got it.
sorry other buyer, but
Yeah.
we jumped them
You're looking
and
for a realtor.
we got it accepted.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is like our client's ecstatic. So like that's the
No, that's big. It is. And I think like especially you and I, like we're both, like you said, you're not chill. I think I'm chill. I think like that what you do well, y- you do well, and then what I do well, I do well, and like a lot of those things are opposite for each
Hmm.
other, maybe. That, and I think that like when you're working with buyers, you really build that connection with them, and we have similar enough personalities, values, the way that we are, that I think like we can like transfer people very easily.
Yeah.
Where like it's harder because sometimes, if we can't go to a showing and we're asking another agent to show it, like sometimes that personality just doesn't click.
Yeah. And I mean, you have the knowledge of like some of these conversations I'm having with buyers, like when they're done with the process, they could become a realtor. Like they're getting
Yeah,
coached up.
yeah.
And I
Like
know that
and you can't like also trusting somebody else to have like high level conversations, and like, that's important to leverage off each other. And I
it
think like
is.
we can do a good job doing that.
Yeah.
And, that really is what comes down to working with us. It's like we bring the energy, like we're still young, but we have 10 years of experience, which is crazy. And then we have our mom who has even more experience that we've learned from and backs us. It's kind of amazing like what we have made here, I
Yeah.
think. And what our mom has, it's like our mom has built this amazing business, and then John and I have like this whole other portion of it. And John is, I mean, like John just said, he's, him and Ken Hartman alone have done 135 home inspections, and that's not even all of them. Like there's like
No.
way more than that. Like
No,
it's
it's just
insane, like the level of experience that we have at our age.
yeah,
You
in a short
know?
amount of time
Yeah.
in this market, because you'll always, I love the age that I've been doing this for 30
Oh,
years. Yeah, but
oh,
if you're only doing one deal a year, you
another
don't know
real
what's
estate pet
you
peeve.
don't know what's going on right
Oh,
now. So
and oh man, and I think that's maybe why, like I said, I'm more direct. I have absolutely no patience for those realtors, and I love, there's a lot of really amazing like realtors that have been in the game for a really
yeah,
long time, and amazing that they're still doing it. But like it is when people are like, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years, and okay, like how many transactions have you done
yeah,
like in those 30 years?
you don't know what an appraisal waiver even means.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. It really is. But yeah, I think, that we just continue to bring a lot of good things to the business, and hopefully we get even more clients, even though we're going on vacation this week.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
keep coming, guys.
But I mean, that is why we have the team. That's why we have backup, and it's great that we can trust our team to cover us while we're away.
Yep.
And when we're back, we'll come back and do another episode of Outside One Fern. So I think
Firm between the
think we can
Sheeran
wrap it up.
siblings. Yeah.